Hey guys, Glutanimate here with another Anki add-on showcase. Today I want to demonstrate the Sticky Searches add-on, which I've just released on Anki Web. The main idea behind this add-on is twofold. First of all, it provides you with the ability to persist specific search terms across multiple searches. The second idea behind it is to allow you to quickly toggle specific search terms that you might find yourself using very often, like for instance the limitation of a search to the current deck. If you've used the browser search modifiers add-on before, then this one will be very familiar. This is a new iteration of that, completely built from scratch with the support of a fellow Anki user who was kind enough to commission these changes. So let's dive right into the use of the add-on and to demonstrate its feature set. Now this add-on will add 4 new toggles to the browser screen, and specifically it will add them right next to the search bar. These 4 toggles are in order: a toggle for the so-called sticky functionality, a toggle for setting the current deck as a search limitation, another toggle for setting specific tags as a search parameter, and the last one being a toggle that sets the search to only show you the first card of each node. So let's start by looking at the first toggle right here, which is the sticky current search toggle. To demonstrate this, I will first construct an advanced search term that will allow me to search for cards of a specific tag in a specific deck, in this instance the Browse Enkephalon deck. So in some cases you might find yourself working with one specific subset of a larger deck, and that subset can either be specified by a specific subdeck or by a deck and a specific tag. And in those cases you might want to limit the scope of your searches persistently on that specific search term, or in those specific search criteria. Now by default Anki doesn't really provide you with many ways to do that. Of course you can just perform your searches, and then anytime you want to search for something new you can just go back and replace the search term and just search for something different. But that can be annoying. And the other disadvantage of this is that if you close the browser session, then go back into it, your search term is forgotten, and of course you can then use the history to go back to it and just try to find it, but still it's not as easy to use as it probably should be. So that's where this add-on comes in. What does it do? Well, the first toggle right here will allow you to sticky that particular search phrase so that it persists across all future invocations of the search, or at least until you toggle it back off. So let's do this quickly. Let's sticky this particular search term right here, and as you will see from now on, if I search for any term I want in the search bar, you'll see that the sequence I just saved will always be prepended and prefixed to that search, and that can save a lot of time. So that's the first functionality, just saving the current search term and allowing you to preserve it across multiple invocations of Anki's search functionality. And this works with any type of search term. It can be as advanced as you want. It can include any type of search operator, so for instance the minus prefix, and also OR tags, or even bracket searches. All of these search operators, all of the logical operators that Anki search comes with, are supported by this functionality. So that's as far as the first toggle is concerned. The next one is even more simple to use. It's something that was already implemented in the browser search modifiers add-on. It will allow you to quickly toggle between searching all decks and just the current deck. So if you use the button right here, or use its hotkey, which is Alt+D, you'll see that the add-on will simply toggle between searching in the current deck or not having that prefix. And this can be useful if you have multiple decks that use the same tag system. Then you can quickly just toggle between the display of all cards and just the cards in one particular deck by using this button right here, or its corresponding hotkey. Let's move over to the next toggle. This one is a way to restrict your searches to a specific set of tags. How do you use it? Well, you first have to set up a number of tags that you want to use. For instance, let's go with the endocrine tag here and the adrenal tag, which seem to fit together well. Having done that, you then just have to click on this button right here, and from now on these tags will always be prepended to your searches. Now, how is this different from the first one, from the sticky search term? Well, if we disable this and go back to those tags and select them again, but in this case also add an additional search phrase which you might be looking for in a deck like this, and then use the tag functionality, you'll see that it will not save all of these search phrases, but only the search phrases that are relevant to this functionality, which are the ones prepended by the tag operator. So if we now switch to a different part of the sidebar, or if we enter a different search term, you'll see that we are now just preserving the tags instead of preserving everything at once. And the other advantage with this is that it can also be toggled at will. So you can just use the toggle again to remove these tags, then click on it again to enable them again. If I want to change which tags this should use, I can just go back and select a different set of tags. I first disable it, of course, and then select a different set of tags, like this one, for instance. And having done that, I just have to click on the tag hotkey again, or on the tag button again, and once again these tags I just selected will then be preserved across multiple searches. Okay, that's as far as this is concerned. Let's move on to the last feature, which is the card toggle. This is very straightforward. By using this, you can simply toggle between showing all cards of a node or just the first one. And the advantage to this is, of course, if you have a large collection of nodes that come with a lot of different cards in them, then by enabling this option, you can just get a quick overview of how many nodes you have in your collection, and without having to looking at all of the possibly duplicated cards in it. So yeah, that's as far as this last toggle is concerned. Now, one thing I wanted to also point out is that these settings can persist. These settings persist across multiple restarts of the browser. So if I set these two up to be active and then close the browser and activate it again, you'll see that these settings are still available. And the same applies to these other toggles that allow you to customize the search phrases. So for instance, if I set up a search phrase like this one and then use the sticky toggle, you'll see that when I go back into the browser and then search for something again, you'll see that this sticky prefix will still be available and prepended to my searches. So that's as far as the general use of the add-on is concerned. As the last part of this video, I wanted to just quickly cover how it can be customized, because it comes with a lot of customizability. As with all of these add-ons, you just have to go into the add-ons section of the tools menu, then find the corresponding entry, which is the sticky searches entry in this case. And as you can see, it comes with a pretty elaborate configuration section, which is starting from this point right here. It comes with a lot of inline comments, which should allow you to figure out how to set up custom toggles of your own, because these toggles are completely extendable, so you can add as many of them as you want simply by extending this checkboxes dictionary right here. How you can do this is explained in the comment section in here. Just to give you a quick example, I will quickly add a new toggle which will allow to search for a specific deck, or toggling the search to be limited to that specific deck. For that, I will simply copy the example which I already have right here, append it to this dictionary here, but I will of course make sure to remove all of these comment signs in front of it. As you might know if you've seen some of my previous videos, these hashtags in Anki's source code just instruct the interpreter of that source code to ignore those lines, and by removing them we've now enabled this particular section which we just created. So this should then allow us to add a new toggle to the checkbox row that allows us to restrict the searches to this deck right here. So under value we can set up our deck. In this case, let's just use whatever this came with, and then let's just go ahead and save the add-on, restart Anki, and we should see now that the browser comes with one additional toggle. Or rather, sorry, you first have to activate it. 1 second. So when you add a new toggle to the sticky searches bar, you have to both add it to the dictionary right here, but you also have to activate it under the next entry, which is right here, the enabled checkboxes. So in here we will then just have to add our My Deck button, which we defined up here, and having done that and then restarting Anki should allow us to use that additional toggle in the browser. And there we go. So that's just a quick way of how you can set up additional toggles, and as you can see, if I click this, it will now limit my searches to the value I just set up before, which is My Deck here. Okay, so that's as far as the general use and customization of this add-on is concerned. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful in learning how to use the add-on, and I hope you will give it a try. I think it can be quite useful, especially if you're using, or rather if you're working with larger collections of nodes that are heavily organized around decks and tags. Then this add-on can provide you with one extra way to make the organization and search through that collection much easier. Thanks again for watching, guys. I hope to see you soon in one of the next videos. Until then, good luck with your studies, and bye.